Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob, also known as the Epileptic Gamer, or your Epileptic Gamer, depending on how you look at it. And welcome back to the Epileptic Gamer podcast. Now, first off, I wanted to point this out that this was actually a fan request. I put up a poll. Yes, granted, there was only one vote. Last I checked, there was only one vote. But I put up a poll asking, hey, here's 3 choices on what you guys can pick. And one of it was a life exchange double exposure theory. It won by a vote because that was the only vote there was. But alas, that's all I need to know that that's what you guys want. Now, for a quick disclosure, I did not want to become a theory podcast. I'm gonna leave it to game theory. That's not me. I report the news, so please don't crucify me, folks. I'm just giving you what you want. You chose this episode, so I think this will be fun to just lay it out there. You guys chose the episode, so let's see what you guys think of not my episode for once, but yours. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. But finally, let's get into it. For those of you that do not know, Life is Strange is getting a brand new game featuring the one, the only Max freaking Caulfield. Yes, that's right, Super Max is back. And the one person that we have noticed is missing is Chloe, but that's a different story from a different day. For those of you that do not know what the game is about, if you completely missed the whole gameplay reveal, story breakdown, and so forth, what it essentially is that Max, this is the set after the events of Arcadia Bay, 10 years later. Max is an award-winning photographer at his school in Vermont, and her best friend dies. It's an impossible murder. The murder is nowhere to be found. The murder weapon is nowhere to be found. And Max finds the body. Uh-oh. Now, naturally, that's not good. You find the body and there's no murderer. That isn't good. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Rachel Amber died 10 years ago. Like, you just said this was based off a game 10 years ago. And you're right. This game is set 10 years after Life is Strange. So, in theory, Rachel Amber should be dead for 10 years. You're wrong. And I'm going to tell you you're wrong because in this game, Max doesn't have her time powers anymore. She swore to herself that after Arcadia Bay, she would never use her powers ever again. Then her her close friend gets killed. She tries to use it, and she finds out she does not have her rewind anymore. She can tear through different dimensions. Now, for those of you that read the comic books, it sounds familiar. And I'm bringing this up because that's what happens in the comics. Max actually gets separated from Chloe. And she gets separated by a different dimension. She can't come back. And the whole comic series is like her trying to get back to Chloe. But Max can access different dimensions for a brief period of time. But what happens when in the comics, I'm going to throw this plot comic out there. If you don't like spoilers, turn the episode off now. But if you don't, and you're never going to read them, I want to tell you the plot here. So Max gets sucked into a void, a universe where presumably she's gone. Chloe and Rachel leave Arcadia Bay. Rachel's alive. So she's in a different universe. Max is gone. And everything hits the fan. Now let's look at the game. Max goes to a different universe. Yes, everything is similar. But one person that's dead is currently alive. Her close friend. Make it make sense. I can tell you how it makes sense. They are taking inspiration from the comics. If they're not, the comics are very loosely based off of the game. And I might reread them just to get a base grip on it. But now, if you're wondering, well, this makes no sense. Well, hey, Jacob, I mean, there's a million explanations. That's a very, very loose theory. You're right, it's very loose indeed. Until I tell you what they told us. They told us, and I'm quoting them here, that you will meet multiple versions of the characters that you learned to love over the history of the game. So hear me out. What's there to stop from, I don't know, being a live version of Rachel Amber? Call me crazy. And if you look at the report that's talking to Max, looks identical down to the last detail that it would be Rachel Amber, just 10 years older. Think about that for a second. Actual gameplay that was shown. Now, if you don't believe me, they told us, and that she even tells Max that her name is Loretta Rice. That would usually debunk the theory. Until someone did a little bit of digging. I don't know what the username is on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Twitter. I don't know what the username is on Twitter. I wish I could find it, but I'm so glad they did. If you played Life is Strange Before the Storm, if you have played it, great, it's a great game. If not, it's a great spin-off. I highly recommend it. You see why Chloe is so mad at Max. And you can see Rachel too. It's a pretty cool game. But whenever you get to the part where Chloe has to rehearse the play, when you're in Rachel's tent, there is a certain poster that has a very interesting name on it. We all know Rachel's a theater geek. She's the popular one. Well, imagine to this person's surprise when they found a poster with the name Loretta on it. It's very easy to presume that, say she survived the storm in this ultimate universe. And this is the hypothetical. This is the theory. So it's all hypothetical. In the hypothetical scenario that she survived the storm, she were to go to Vermont, wait 10 years, get a degree, become someone that can anchor news, interview people, I don't know, whatever her role is. She takes the name Loretta, which is apparently a favorite play of hers, I guess. I could be wrong. And just decides to throw, I don't know, Loretta Rice. That makes sense. That must sound like a reporter name. It's plausible. I feel like it is. And if the rumors are true, it's the same voice actors that voiced Rachel in Before the Storm that voices Loretta Rice. I always say make it make sense. I don't think I need to say it here. I think this is a decent theory that actually has a a lot of weight to it, and I feel like this could be a big part of it. Now, I want to touch on the Chloe thing, because that could play into the whole Rachel Amber situation. But I think that would drag on this video for an extra 20 minutes. Or, I'm sorry, not video, podcast episode for an extra 20 minutes. And I don't want to rant for an extra 20 minutes. I got more episodes to record. So, yeah. Loretta Rice, folks, she ain't who she says he is. She says she is. That's Rachel Amber. And I am convinced the clip they showed us is in the alternate timeline. Because the killer is still at large and is still going after her close friend. I'm not saying her best friend. Chloe is her best friend. They are more than best friends. I refuse to believe it. Chloe is alive. I refuse to believe she's not. But yeah, the killer is still going after the close friend. So what's to stop it from Rachel Amber having an alternate, a different Rachel Amber being in Vermont at that same time? In my opinion, there's nothing. And I think that would be one hell of a twist. I really think it would. And, she could go, and it could be like a plot, I don't know, a huge plot point. Or maybe even just have a subtle cameo. All of a sudden she could disappear. And maybe that was her. This as a bit of fan service, I don't know. If it's not Rachel Amber, which it's probably not going to be, but let's just say it, if it's not, you could have a subplot where Max is trying to figure out why do I recognize this person? That's right. That's Rachel Amber. That would be a very fun experience. And if they do decide to go to Rachel Amber route, I'd be curious to see how they go about it. Because she's dead in the main timeline. Maybe they fake her death. I don't know. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait till October. And I'm sure I'll play it. Don't know if I'll live stream it. Don't know if I'll record me playing it. But all I know is this. Get ready, folks. Life is Strange Double Exposure has a lot going for it. And I think if Rachel Amber is alive, it's going to blow a lot of people away. Because what else is possible in that game? So that's it for this episode, folks. I don't know why I'm saying folks a lot. Alright, that's it, everybody. I am Jacob, also known as the Epileptic Gamer. I will see you guys in the next episode. I will absolutely put up another poll on what episodes you will want to see next. But as for right now, I hope I did your episode justice. Remember, this was voted on by you. I hope I did it justice. If I did not, feel free to attack me in the comments on YouTube. I don't care. It's your time. Do with it as you will. But that is all from me, folks. I will see you in the next episode of the Epileptic Gamer podcast. Bye-bye.